love me and won't never let me go. Think it's better that we grow with each other on my mother. What you do under them covers, it be better than these. And I ain't saying that I'm perfect, baby girl, cause you know me. But everything I say I do and everything I do low key. Why you flexing for them photos and them is in your tweets? Eat that on the gram, but I
find a cadence you can maintain and a cadence where you feel like you'll have a finishing kick. If you go out hot and hold on, that's not a strategy that's going to work for most people watching this video.
All that you just saw, none of that really is going to be in this video. This video is going to be my attempt at 24.1, giving you guys some feedback about what I thought about the workout, as well as a time for all of you to chase. But I was at the Open announcement. That is going to be part of the next video, or really the entire next video. So if you want to see that, subscribe below. You will get a bit of that actually in this video. I am going to put both Jeff Adler and Brent Fikowski's advice to me on this workout. I talked with them after the event. So if you want to see that, I will also put the times for that in the description. That way you can just jump to that if you don't care about my my advice and watching me do the workout. But me, I am a fairly average athlete. This is my 10th Open, so that does mean something. I think that's just a lot of years practicing these movements and the skills. But I recently was sort of inconsistent with my training. I did a whole video on why I took a break from YouTube and was just sort of sporadically in the gym for a couple months there. That video will be linked up here for you if you're curious to see more about why that was my reality. But over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I have moved. I live in a new city in the Bay Area still, and I've switched gyms to another CrossFit affiliate, Pacific Strength CrossFit. Love it there. But today, we are actually going back to my old gym to do this workout, Diablo CrossFit. It is a little bit closer to where the Open announcement was at CrossFit Pleasanton, and they have a lot of coaches there throughout the day to do the workout at any time I need to do it. So it seemed like a convenient option, so we are going back to where this all began. Also, just as like a side note, I started this YouTube channel with my 2022 Open experience. That's how I like launched this whole thing. So now it's like 2 years. I think it's like almost 2 years to the day since I started YouTube. And that was at Diablo CrossFit, and we are going back to Diablo CrossFit to do 24.1. So let's head over there. Let's do the workout. Wish me luck, because I am not in my fittest state. But also, I want to use this as an opportunity to encourage people, regardless of where you think you are in your training, that if you are physically and mentally capable of doing the CrossFit Open, do it. Just do it. Like, it's an awesome community experience, and it's cool to see the changes year after year. You're not always going to improve every year after a certain point. Like, there will be times that something happens, an injury, a life event, like I had some life events, that are going to impact your training, and you might not be as good as you were the year before. And that's okay. Like, it's cool to look back and see all the ups and downs. And if I'm not as good this year, which I probably won't be, it gives me more to improve upon next year. So it's all good. It's all cyclical and fun. And if you can do it, just do it. It supports CrossFit. It's cool. It's fun. It's a great way to test yourself every year, even if you're not going to do as well on the test. All right, let's go do it. Okay, the 2024 Open is underway. And first thing, if you saw me, I was turned around facing away from the dumbbell to start the workout. There are very few directions when it comes to floor plan setup. The one thing it does direct is that you have to be facing away from the dumbbell. When the workout starts, you turn around, you pick it up. Make sure you do that. That's something that could invalidate your entire score. So just make sure you do that one. So this workout, 24.1, starts out with 21 dumbbell snatches, all on one arm. We've always done a lot of alternating. This is the first time we've seen in the Open all done on one arm than the other arm. Doesn't matter which arm you start with. I started with my stronger arm. I don't really know what the smarter move was. I thought about doing the weaker first. I don't know if it would have made more sense. But I do like this workout. The rep scheme, new. This 21, 21, 21, 21, 15, 15, 15, 15, 9, 9, 9, 9, new. But these movements, not new. So I like that it's a very inclusive first week. A lot of people can do this. Dave talked about how the first workout was going to be accessible, but it would come down to the intensity. And he was exactly right with this workout. Having done it, I can tell you, a lot of people can at least start this workout. Some people will hit that 15-minute time cap. If you go hard and you hit that intensity, you won't hit the 15-minute time cap, and it will be very, very challenging. And it will give you a little bit of that Fran lung if you are working hard enough on it. So finishing up these 21 burpees, I tried to keep moving. I almost did a 20-second there. That's why we have the judge, just to make sure that we do the right amount of reps. Not too many, not too few. So back to this dumbbell. This is my second arm. This is where I ended up starting to break it up. I did go unbroken on the first 21. I feel like that was fine. I don't think that made or broke the workout for me, but it was the only time I go unbroke one more time in the nines, but it was my stronger arm. I was able to do it. My weaker arm, my left arm, I had to break it up into 2 sets for the 21, and I think even 3 sets for the 15, I believe. But you just got to keep moving through these, breathing. One of the things I was thinking about throughout the workout is breathing. It is a 21:59, but it's a double 21:59. That's a lot more reps. You got to breathe through it. You got to take your time. You just don't want to push it too much where you're going to overly fatigue. Because for most of us, it's not like what I think Alexis Raptis mentioned at the end, that you should go harder than you thought. I'm sure that's true for the top 1% or 0.1% for sure, but maybe not for the rest of us. So it is a little bit of a pacing workout. So something I was thinking about here as well is accuracy over this dumbbell. So I tried to look somewhere a little bit different than I usually do. I was kind of looking at where my feet were each time I jumped up to go over the dumbbell. So making sure my feet were right next to the dumbbell when I came up into that position where you're sort of like in A or an upside down V where you're folded over, trying to make sure my feet were right next to that dumbbell. Sometimes I even, brushed it when I came up to come up into that folded over position, just to make sure I was close to it so that when I jumped over, I was going to be directly over the dumbbell and I wasn't going to be in front or behind it, because that is a no rep. You have to jump directly over the dumbbell and it is a small target. So now back to these dumbbell snatches, and you can see it's changed a little bit. They were like muscle snatches at the beginning. Now I am power snatching it. You could squat snatch it. I would definitely not recommend that, but you could. I'm breaking them up here now in the 15s, just taking a quick breath. Brent Fikowski, when he gave some advice for the, gen pop, not the elite athletes, he did suggest breaking it up. And here is where I took that advice and I broke it up quite a bit, because the dumbbell for me was the harder of the two movements. Although I know for a lot of people that will be the burpee. I'm a decent burpier. Just touch your chest to the ground real fast, pop back up. So I am trying to breathe on these burpees though. I was trying not to get too overwhelmed with going too fast, because I'm not Jeff Adler. I am not Noah Olson. I am not going to hit a record on this workout. So you got to pace it. You have to breathe. So I was definitely, even though I was moving fairly fast to these burpees, I was thinking a little bit more about taking breaths, about breathing, about moving through this at a consistent speed that I could keep up for most of the workout. There was someone else off screen working out with me. He was resting on the ground. Oh, there, you can see him in the corner, a little bit more than I was. So I was trying to keep it at a speed that I knew I could keep moving at. So now, back to this dumbbell, remembering to switch arms. You cannot touch your leg with your opposite arm. That's just been true in the open the whole time. still true. You got to touch both dumbbell heads to the ground each time that you bring the dumbbell down. Just a quick tap. You don't need to rest it, just a tap, and then pull it back up, unless you're resting completely like I am right now. And definitely sacrifice the low back a little bit on this workout. I can feel it now a couple hours later. It just sort of what's got to happen if you want to push it. You could protect your low back a little bit more, but you're probably going to go a little bit slower. This is one of the times that I think you're competing. It is a competition, even if it's just against yourself or just trying to push yourself to be your best. So when you are in these moments where you are in more of a competition, you're going to have to sacrifice a little bit more. And there's a lot of hinging in this workout. It's 180 reps of hinging, essentially. So just be mindful of that. Know that your back, you're going to need to warm it up, and it might be a little tight after. But I think everyone, or at least the vast majority of us, feel that way. And at this point, you're in the 15s, you're already well over halfway through the workout. Once you're in that first set of 15 snatches, you're already hitting the halfway point. So just a thought to have in your head as you move, looking at the time and knowing what you have to do and what's left. But I think everyone's going to have something that they're better at. Really strong people, it's probably going to be that dumbbell. It's going to feel light, so make sure you're breathing on that dumbbell and catching your breath. For me, I'm a little bit better at the burpees in these two movements. So I was trying to keep a pace, a consistent pace, but not go too fast. And also, I kept my legs, I tried to at least, or thought about it, a little bit farther apart when doing these snatches, just to shorten that distance a little bit. I don't need to keep my feet basically touching, because if they are, I'm just creating more inches to travel. So I think when I was watching the Open announcement, I feel like Alexis Raptis's legs were a little bit farther apart, and I'm like, that's a thought. Keep a little bit of distance there. I'm in the 9s now. I went unbroken on this arm in the 9s. I do not do that on the second arm, but this is my better arm. Right into those burpees. You want to go right down. When you put that dumbbell down, you want to start going into that burpee. You're already hinged over. Finish the hinge, get on the ground. There's no reason to stand all the way back up after that final snatch and then putting the dumbbell onto the ground. Just go down with it. You got to get down, just go down. I was definitely like sort of shaking out my arms a little bit on some of these burpees. You saw I like sort of pulled them in between my legs, just kind of like shaking them. So, and giving them like a chance to just get some blood back in there. And now I am resting probably a little bit more than I should have, but I was trying to finish under 10, and I do. And I kind of saw that I had a couple seconds that I could afford to rest for a moment there. But when you watch it back, you're like, why'd I do that? Why'd I rest? Could have saved a couple seconds. But I am fairly happy with my time. I feel like I kept moving, and I definitely have a bit of a pain face there right now. Resting for like, I have 3 reps left. My judge was literally telling me like 3 reps, come on. And I was like, I don't want to do it. But it's just 3 reps. But I did know as soon as I finished these, I was going to try to hammer the last 9 burpees, because this is it, right? This is the end. And I knew I wanted to try to finish under 10. So sprint these. You want to be able to, empty the tank at the end here. You don't want to be so fatigued that you're literally resting on the ground during these last 9 burpees. If you get here, you want to be able to just really feel like you left it all on the floor. Like I'm on the floor now at the end of this workout, rolling around, trying to figure out what just happened. But I was happy with my effort. 24.1 done. Will I redo it? I don't think so. But I think it's going to be a matter of seeing what some of the scores are like. I would like to qualify for quarterfinals, so we shall see. But that was attempt 1, and maybe all attempts. Just finished that up. I almost wish I didn't rest as much, but like, you need to rest. You're just dying. This was an open workout. It felt like an open workout. That was an experience. Glad it's done. I don't know if I'll do it again, but my lungs burn, for sure. Okay. You'll hear the rest in the voiceover, because I am squad drunk.
5 seconds, gotta do one more. You gotta do one more.
3, 5, nice job.
Any advice for people who are taking on the workout?
So obviously, like, know your fitness level. I think we were, what were we, 6:30, kind of? You know, a lot of people at home aren't going to be doing this in 6:30. So I think for a lot of people, you know, even doing like 11 dumbbell snatches, putting it down, taking one deep breath and going forward and doing the next 10, probably going to be a really good idea for a lot of people, just to manage that fatigue early. And then just find a burpee cadence you feel like you can hold to for, you know, 6 to 10 minutes, right, for 100 burpees. And so for us, because we're pretty strong, like the dumbbell was kind of the break for us, but that's not going to be the case for everyone, right? So kind of knowing where you need to push. If you can, you kind of want to stay low on the burpees. Like I think about keeping my chest kind of close to the dumbbell the whole time. If you fully stand up and jump and then bend over, it's just kind of more time. So if you're able to breathe while still being a little kind of hunched over, and then just make sure you don't get any no reps. I got some no reps, which was my fault. I grabbed the dumbbell with the wrong hand. So make sure that either your judge or you or an extra person is like left hand, and cueing you on which hand to start with. I got a little caught up in the moment. And yeah, ideally what you want to do is do your burpees at a pace where as soon as you finish that 15th or 21st burpee, you land with 2 feet, you swipe that foot around, and you bend over and pick it up. Right, so if that means you do your 21 burpees a little slow, as soon as you land, you do 5 snatches, you put it down. You do 5 snatches, you put it down. Like find a cadence you can maintain, and a cadence where you feel like you'll have a finishing kick. If you go out hot and hold on, that's not a strategy that's going to work for most people watching this video.
Any advice for people?
I really think that if you want a best time, you need to be consistent on the burpees. If you go too fast, you will break the burpees, and that's where you lose too much time. So just slower is better on this workout, I think.
Okay, back in my car. I actually just got back to my new neighborhood. I forgot to film this before, but that was an open workout. That felt like an open workout. I think sub 10 is a decent score. I don't know yet. I think it really depends on what a lot of other people's scores are. But that is a starting point for all of you who are watching this. I hope you enjoyed getting to see my workout. If you want to see more about the open announcement, that video will come out next. So subscribe for that. If you have a prediction for 24.2 after seeing what 24.1 was, leave that in the comments. I will do a prediction video again, so I will use some of your predictions in that video. So leave those below so I have those for that video, and maybe you'll see your comment pop up. I believe there was one commenter, I think his name is Lorenzo, who said dumbbell snatches and burpees. And that's what we had. But no one guessed this crazy 21, 21, 21. Is that enough 21s? 15, 15, 15, 15, 9, 9, 9, 9 rep scheme. But I'm sure we'll see more of that. And you know what? It might even come back again in semifinals or in the games, because a lot of times Dave likes to have like these threads that goes from the open to the games. And that rep scheme, it is new. He said it was something new. The dumbbell snatch isn't new. The burpee certainly isn't new. But that rep scheme, that felt new. And I hope you enjoyed some of the tips from both Jeff and Brent, who were awesome enough to stop and talk with me. Those full interviews will be in that next video that I mentioned before about the open announcement. But I figured I'd give you the tips right away. So when you hit this workout, you have information from me, a more average person, and information from them, very, 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 very elite people, like arguably the most elite people at this stuff. So hopefully that all helps you and gives you a good 24.1 score. Let me know those in the comments below if you want to share how you did. I hope some of you beat me because I like to think that sometimes some of my advice can help you guys do well. And if you don't beat me, you can still maybe do better because of some of the tips I offered you, or just enjoy watching me suffer. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and thank you to Diablo CrossFit for letting me jump in and do that workout. Craig and Yvonne, I saw them at the CrossFit Pleasanton announcement, and I said I wanted to try to come by and possibly do the workout. They were like, come by, do it, no problem. Really awesome people. Really loved my almost 3 years at Diablo CrossFit, and was back today and hope to be back again. All right, appreciate you. See you in the next one. Bye.